He's got it, and the Vikings take a 7-0 lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. Here's Raymond bringing it out. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. As the season winds down and you look at them in totality, you know, the offense has struggled. The defense has been pretty good, so I would imagine the changes this offseason may be more on the offensive side of the ball.
And this is where we always hear the term complementary football, because as you noted, the defense has played well enough for them to win games, and the offense has held them back. So they've got to reward that defense by improving on offense. I don't know if you make a change of quarterback, running back, tight end. It doesn't matter. Get better players, better system, so they can play to the standards of the defense, and the win column will result.
Going back to Gibbs on first down. And slow going there as he'll only get a yard, maybe, up to the 41. You look at this defense for the Vikings. This crew against the pass, issues at times, ranked number 24, Charles, in the NFL.
And I think you're going to see some changes in the offseason, whether it's through the draft, free agency, maybe even both. They definitely need some help in the secondary.
To throw on second down is Goff. And his throw is incomplete. Trying to get that to Jahmyr Gibbs out of the backfield. But now it's third down. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Now Goff. Setting up the screen. This is Gibbs. Good contain. No gain on the screen, and it'll bring up fourth down.
And I know that one didn't work out the way they thought, but I don't think it was a bad time to call this play. You're thinking on third down, you might possibly see some pressure. You might see a blitz. So they tried to set up the screen, but that one was well read, and they stopped them for no gain.
Jack Fox out to punt here on fourth down. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. It's a 45-yard punt, just a 1-yard return. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over first and 10. Cousins and the Vikings with a first and 10 at their own 12-yard line. On play action, they'll throw. Pass caught here by Osborne. And he gets this one just shy of the 35 to the 34. The end result, 21 yards. First carry for the Boise State Bronco, Alexander Madison, to about the 35, second down. The Vikings at 11-3 on the year. And they were losers last time out, trying to turn things around here in this one.
And it always helps to have a home crowd behind you, giving you encouragement as long as you give them something good to cheer about. So you know they just want to come out and play well for their faithful, and I expect them to do just that.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. Here's Madison getting it again on second. They find some open field here. And he will finally be wrestled down at the Lions' 34. 31 yards there at first down. Once he broke through that first wave of defenders, there was a pretty big gap there for him to run.
And it helps that they were in a dime defense. That's 6 defensive backs. So this is why a lot of teams now are searching for those linebacker safety combo type guys.
And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Aiden Hutchinson able to record his 5th sack of the season. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. From the gun, here's Cousins. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Patterson. Calling a gain of 3 on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. You talk about this Lions defense. Now they come into this one down at the 27th position in the league, Charles, against the run.
And stopping the run, that's been an issue for them all season long. Aren't you glad that you're not coaching the defense right now?
I'm very glad. They said that they've seen it in doses, but very, very small doses. passes.
Yeah, you've got to be consistent. It's down in and down out, being able to play it, understand what you have to get done, and finally stop some people, put them on the ground.
And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. And that will extend their lead even further. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Yeah, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10. And he's going to be brought down back at his own 6-yard line. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on 1st down on the sack. On 2nd down, here's Gibbs. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. He couldn't get the edge there, wasn't sealed, so maybe not all on the guy running the football all the time on those tosses and the pitches that go to the outside.
No, not at all. I would agree with that totally, because sometimes the defensive guys, they win the edge battle. And when they do that, there's no place for the running back to go, and especially for offensive linemen trying to get out ahead. With their footwork and speed, it was negligible on that play. No gain at all for the offense.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Here comes the Lions punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. That'll go as a 39-yard punt, give him 9 on the return. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position, 1st and 10. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Cousins. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep. Try and throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
And just shutting him off there. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A big chunk of yardage there, 37 yards. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football as they go to work on a 1st and goal. Madison will take this into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Joseph now to have the PAT. He's got it, and it's 17-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And it'll come out to the 25 as Raymond will elect not to bring it out. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're
you don't
down.
want to.
Well, no, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Second down, and they go back to Gibbs. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. They'll say no gain on the play there. Now it'll be third down. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. They'll fake the give. Now Goff. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now fourth down. Here's Jack Fox now as he's on to punt for Detroit. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. 33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways, because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain. Now Cousins here on the bootleg. They'll roll him out right. Going underneath, he's got Hockenson. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. 17 yards on the... A first down.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. As long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
They'll give him 4 yards there, and it'll be second down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Levi Onwuzurike. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. The kick by Joseph is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue, because you know after the sack there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They're in a bit of a bind, a pretty big bind, down 20-0 as they start here on 1st and 10. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. Calling a loss of 2 there on the play. And that brings up 3rd and a full 10 yards. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
Looking downfield for Jones. Oh, everything falling apart now. Another one intercepted. Picked off by Byron Murphy. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Levis from the gun. This is caught by Addison. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. 23 yards, the final tally. Here's Levis. This goes out wide from Madison. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. So the completion good for just 3. And it'll be 2nd down. Now Levis. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Levis on 3rd down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice one for them. They forced the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
And yet again, Goff is intercepted. It's Tariq Castro-Fields who picked it. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
And he's out of bounds, almost gets to the 10. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
And he's brought down. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal. Now a timeout called for by the offense as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Levis to throw off play action. He'll buy some time right. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, he certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
An incomplete pass on first down. Here's second and goal. And Levis going back to the air toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
All right, Captain, it's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on third and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you've kind of run out of your running plays. Fire another one into the end zone.
There's Hawkinson in the end zone. Touchdown, Vikings. A great play there as the first half is winding down. And the Vikings are able to add on to their first half lead. Joseph connects on the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Here's Raymond bringing it out. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And with 8 seconds on the clock, really not a lot of time to try to put anything together. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. And we welcome you back now alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. Mulangu now from his end zone. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. The first half definitely went their way, and this would seem to be a great opportunity to kind of put this game a little closer out of reach with a score here. And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, Vikings! Alexander Madison. That's his 19th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Joseph connects on the extra point, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Here's Raymond bringing it out. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move.
Gibbs gets popped and he loses the football. Oh, this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. From the gun on third down, Goff. That is caught. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. They'll get 17 that time, and the Lions have a first down. From the gun, Gibbs will get it. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Dancing to his left. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. A nice job of eluding the pressure there, scrambling for 11. Here comes 3rd and the length of the football. Gibbs will try and pick it up. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive continues.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
They'll try the air now with Goff. And oh my goodness, here's a 5th interception. Picked off by the linebacker Jordan Hicks. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line. Well, that is now his 5th interception thrown in this game. And, Charles, you've got to tip your cap to this defense. I mean, they have been so impressive reading these passes, stepping in those lanes, and picking them off.
Yeah, sometimes the best offense is an excellent defense, and they've done exactly that. What do you think, partner? A season's worth of highlights in just 4 quarters? I think that's what we're seeing from this group.
2nd down and 6 now. They'll go Madison up the middle. Down to the 25. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
I wonder, Brandon, I just wonder. You think maybe he was worried about where he was on the field? Was he far enough? Was he close enough to the first down sticks?
Absolutely. He was right there by him, and I think he was thinking first down before he caught that football.
Yeah, got to catch it first, because if you don't catch it, there's no chance of picking up a first down.
So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. Or win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. But I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. Here comes the Lions punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. It'll be a 41-yard punt, give them 5 on the return. And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
And he'll get it out to midfield. So, yeah, they'll spot it right in midfield at the 50. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down. Here's Madison running left. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback. They all...
And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Aiden Hutchinson able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. So a tough situation to overcome here. 3rd and 17. Levis to throw it. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And the Lions are going to get the football back as time will run out in this 3rd quarter of play. After the interception, here's Goff. Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Gibbs straight ahead. And he's going to be stopped just short of the first down marker at the Vikings' 18-yard line. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. Now a play fake, and it's Goff. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. They'll try and run for it with Janovich. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. Now, no reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
Now it's Goff off the bootleg.
He gets this out wide to Gibbs.
And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that will bring up 2nd down.
Out of the gun, they'll give to Gibbs.
And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Just a yard of the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
Goff on 3rd down. Touchdown!
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
His 6th touchdown of the season.
And the Lions are finally on the board here in the 4th quarter. Extra point by Patterson, up and good.
As they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play.
And Patterson back out there to send this one away. Nwangu now from his end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Cost him about 5 yards as he's tackled it to 20.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season.
They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and 11 coming up. Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. Well, they go play action. Here's Levis. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. And here's Ryan Wright now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. They'll call it a punt of 44 yards. The return was for 7. And the Lions will take over. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot. Straight ahead with Gibbs here. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. To throw is Goff. Finds Gibbs on the check down. And he won't get to the marker. He's a yard short. A pickup of 3 and leaves him with 4th and 1. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And here now the punter Fox as he sends this one away. And just a 30-yard punt that time. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And this crowd has certainly liked what they've seen. Their guys fully expected to win this one coming in, and they have not disappointed as they've got the big lead here in the 4th. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Going to run with Madison again. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 164 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but, boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And, partner, I have no idea what the top speed is of all those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for the Vikings, the wins keep coming as this one moves them to 12-3 on the year. And they'll get another home date next week as the Packers will come to town. Meanwhile, for the Lions, it's another loss as they now fall to 4-11. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head to Dallas to take on the Cowboys. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.